Obi-Wan stood in the fading light of Polis Massa and looked down at the two children who had survived the fall of everything. Luke slept quietly. Leia kicked against her blanket as if she already refused to accept the galaxy she had been born into. Yoda wanted the twins separated at once, hidden so deeply that even memory would lose them. It was the safest plan. It was also the loneliest. But Obi-Wan had seen another path. He had seen it in the young Togruta, who had walked away from the Jedi Order, yet never turned from what was right. Ahsoka Tano had survived war, betrayal, and the rise of the Empire. She knew Anakin Skywalker better than anyone still living. More important, she knew what his children might become if they were raised only in fear. When Ahsoka arrived, she expected a mission, not a burden, that could change the fate of the stars. Obi-Wan placed Leia in her arms, then guided her toward Luke. For a moment, Ahsoka said nothing. The twins were innocent, but their blood carried the shadow of Vader. Yoda warned that attachment had already destroyed their father. Obi-Wan did not deny it. Yet he also knew isolation had failed Anakin too. If the twins were raised by strangers alone, with no one to understand the truth behind their pain, history might repeat itself. So Obi-Wan made his choice. He trusted Ahsoka with the secret no surviving Jedi could afford to share. She would help hide the children, watch over their paths, and one day decide when they were ready to know who they were. Ahsoka accepted, though fear pressed hard against her calm. As the ships prepared to part ways, she looked at the twins and felt the weight of Anakin's last hope settle in her hands. The Empire was already tightening its grip across space. Then Obi-Wan gave one final warning. If Vader ever sensed her near the children, the hunt would begin. Ahsoka moved quickly after leaving Polis Massa, because every hour mattered. She knew the Empire would search for any trace of Padmé's children, even if Palpatine believed they had died with their mother. Hiding both twins in one place was too dangerous. If one world fell, both hopes for the future would vanish with it. Working through Bail Organa's hidden channels, Ahsoka arranged a fragile plan. Leia would go to Alderaan, where the Organas could protect her behind royal titles, soft lights, and polished halls. She would grow under watchful eyes, surrounded by politics, duty, and the quiet fire of rebellion. Luke needed a different life. He needed distance from power, distance from memory, and distance from the Empire's gaze. That left Tatooine. Ahsoka hated the choice. The desert world was full of pain for Anakin, and full of scars that never healed. But its harsh emptiness made it easy to disappear. Owen and Beru Lars did not want Jedi secrets near their home, yet they agreed to take the boy. They would raise Luke as family, not as a symbol. Ahsoka made the separation herself. She delivered Leia into Bail's arms and saw at once how deeply he loved the child. Then she carried Luke across the sands at dusk, wrapped against the burning wind. She stood outside the Lars homestead for a long moment before placing him in Beru's care. Luke reached out with tiny fingers, and Ahsoka felt a sharp pain she had not expected. From then on, she became a shadow between worlds. She watched Alderaan from a distance. She checked Tatooine through Obi-Wan's coded messages. She never stayed too long in either place. She never used the Force unless she had no choice. Every choice now would shape the coming war. Because she understood the terrible truth now, she had not just hidden the twins from the Empire. She had split one destiny into two and prayed the galaxy would not tear them apart forever. Years passed, and Ahsoka learned how to live as a rumor. She moved supplies for hidden cells, broke prisoners out of Imperial transports, and vanished. To many, she was only a whisper. To Darth Vader, she became something worse, a feeling he could not silence. It began during a raid on an Imperial archive world. Ahsoka had gone in to steal lists of Force-sensitive children before the Inquisitors could reach them. The mission should have been clean. Instead, an officer triggered an alarm, and Ahsoka was forced to fight her way through the hangar. She used the Force to bring down a blast door and save a group of captives. Vader felt it. The sensation was clear and unmistakable. Not Kenobi, not Yoda, something older, familiar. A buried echo from the Clone Wars, wrapped in pain and discipline. For the first time in years, the dark shell around Anakin Skywalker cracked. He did not speak her name aloud, yet it burned through his thoughts. Palpatine noticed the shift. He pressed Vader for answers, but Vader offered only silence. He wanted the truth for himself. If Ahsoka Tano had survived, then she might know secrets no one else did. She might know what remained of Anakin. She might even lead him to whatever the Jedi had hidden after the fall. So the hunt began. Vader redirected Inquisitors, tightened patrol routes, and reopened forgotten war records. Safe houses went dark. Rebel messengers never reached their targets. Ahsoka realized late that the net around her was changing. This was not random Imperial pressure. It was personal, it was focused, and it was moving with the patience of someone who knew how she thought. Then, on a moon in the Outer Rim, Ahsoka found a squad of slain rebels arranged in silence around one message carved into the dust by a lightsaber tip. I know you are alive. And for the first time since Malachor, Ahsoka felt Anakin hunting her from inside the mask. Vader's hunt forced Ahsoka to rethink everything, especially Luke. The boy was growing fast on Tatooine. Obi-Wan's reports spoke of stubborn courage, restless questions, and a strength in the Force. Tools leapt into Luke's hands. Dangerous creatures hesitated before him. He could not explain any of it, but Ahsoka understood what it meant. The problem was not whether Luke could be trained. The problem was when. Every lesson carried risk. If Ahsoka waited too long, Luke might reach for power without wisdom, just as Anakin had. If she began too soon, Vader or the Inquisitors might sense the awakening. At last, she chose secrecy over delay. Under the cover of trade runs and false cargo routes, Ahsoka started meeting Luke in the Junlin Wastes. To Owen, she was a wandering pilot with ties to Kenobi. To Luke, she was something exciting, a fighter who knew the wider galaxy and spoke of discipline like it mattered more than blasters. Their first lessons were simple. Breathe. Listen. Feel danger before it strikes. Trust the Force, but do not let emotion drive the hand. Luke learned quickly, almost too quickly. He laughed when exercises worked, then burned with frustration when they did not. Ahsoka saw the pattern. His heart was open, bright, and full of love. It was also hungry for answers. That hunger frightened her. Anakin had wanted to protect everyone. He had wanted control because he feared loss. Luke did not know the truth about his father, yet pieces of that same fire already lived inside him. One evening, during a training exercise, Luke lost focus and lashed out with force, sending rocks flying like shrapnel. He stared at the damage in horror. Ahsoka hid her fear and told him to stop for the day. But as the desert wind rose around them, she realized the lesson had changed. She was no longer teaching Luke how to use the Force. She was teaching Anakin Skywalker's son how not to become him. While Luke learned silence beneath Tatooine's suns, Leia Organa learned how power spoke behind smiles. Alderaan gave her education, safety, and a family that loved her, but it also showed her the face of Imperial control. Governors lied with elegant words. Senators bowed while pretending to resist. Even as a girl, Leia could hear cowardice hiding inside diplomacy. Ahsoka visited rarely, always under other names, yet she watched Leia with amazement. The princess had Padme's grace, but also Anakin's bold refusal to back down. When servants whispered that Leia asked too many questions, Bail only smiled in private. He knew the child was seeing the truth early. As Leia grew older, Bail brought her closer to his work. He did not reveal everything at first. He tested her judgment with coded errands, meetings, and relief missions. Leia passed every test. She comforted frightened families, lied to Imperial officers without shaking, and returned from secret flights more determined than before. Ahsoka soon realized Bail was doing more than shielding the future. He was building it. His home was not just a refuge for senators who hated the Empire. It was a bridge between scattered cells, smugglers, former soldiers, and worlds ready to resist if someone could unite them. That discovery changed Ahsoka's role. She had been guarding the twins from the war. Now she saw that one of them was already moving toward it by choice. Leia did not need to be pushed into rebellion. She was running toward it with open eyes. Then Bail trusted Ahsoka with a deeper secret. He had preserved fragments of Padmé's networks, contacts the Empire never fully destroyed. If awakened, they could strengthen the rebellion across systems. But there was a cost. Those same networks linked back to people who had known Anakin Skywalker. If Vader traced even one surviving line, he would not just find rebels. He would find the path to Leia, and possibly the truth Ahsoka had sacrificed years to keep buried. The closer Vader came, the more dangerous silence became. Ahsoka could feel the pressure building. Imperial patrols tightened near Alderaan. Inquisitors searched trade routes linked to Tatooine. Old allies vanished, and coded warnings arrived too late to save them. Vader was not chasing clues anymore. He was narrowing in on the heart of the secret. That was when Obi-Wan finally broke with Ahsoka. He believed the twins needed the truth. Luke's training was accelerating. Leia was already stepping into rebellion. If they remained blind to their importance, they might make fatal choices at the worst moment. Obi-Wan argued that preparation meant honesty. The children had earned that much. Ahsoka refused. She remembered Anakin's fall more clearly than anyone. She remembered how fear, love, and half-truths had twisted together until they crushed him. Telling Luke and Leia too soon that Darth Vader was their father could shatter them. Worse, it could tempt Luke into trying to save a man he did not understand. It could make Leia reckless with rage. Their debate turned sharp, then bitter. Obi-Wan spoke of duty. Ahsoka spoke of wounds that had never healed. Neither of them was wrong, and that made the conflict worse. For the first time since the Empire rose, they were no longer protecting the twins with one shared purpose. Then the argument became irrelevant. An Imperial strike team hit a rebel relay station Ahsoka had used only days earlier. The station burned before she arrived, but one survivor gasped out a final warning. Vader had taken the records alive. Not the names, the patterns. Travel times, supply drops, repeated contacts near desert routes, and Alderaanian channels. Obi-Wan understood the meaning. The walls around both children were collapsing together for good. He urged Ahsoka to pull Luke off Tatooine immediately. She wanted to secure Leia first. Neither choice could save both. Then a coded transmission flashed across Bail Organa's private network. An Imperial task force had changed course. Its new destination was Alderaan. Alderaan did not fall that day, but the warning was enough to shatter the old plan. Bail moved Leia into cover. Obi-Wan rushed Luke off Tatooine before Imperial eyes could close around him. For the first time since birth, the twins were being pulled toward the same storm. Ahsoka knew the truth could not be delayed any longer. She told Luke first. There was no way to say it, so she gave him honesty. Anakin Skywalker had been a Jedi Knight, a hero of the Clone Wars, and his father, Darth Vader, had once been that man. Luke did not speak when the words landed. He just stared at her as if the desert itself had opened under his feet. Then came the anger. Not loud at first. Worse than that. Quiet anger. Luke wanted proof. He wanted reasons. He wanted to know why Obi-Wan and Ahsoka had built his life on silence, while the monster serving the Emperor carried his blood. Ahsoka tried to explain fear, failure, and the hope that Luke might grow free of his father's shadow. But Luke heard something else beneath it, that everyone around him had decided what he could bear. The revelation changed his training instantly. His focus sharpened, yet so did his darkness. When he sparred, he pushed too hard. When he meditated, Memories that were not his seemed to flicker at the edge of thought fire, metal, screaming, loss. Ahsoka warned him that anger opened doors. The dark side would enter. Luke answered with a question she dreaded. If there is still good in him, why shouldn't I try to reach him? That was Anakin's son speaking, full of hope. Before Ahsoka could answer, Leia arrived under Rebel escort, demanding to know why Alderaan had become a battlefield in waiting. She stepped into the room, saw Luke, and felt the pull between them. Then Obi-Wan gave her the truth as well. Leia did not cry. She reached for a blaster instead. Everything Ahsoka had feared stood in front of her at once. Luke wanted to save Vader. Leia wanted to destroy him. Obi-Wan wanted the mission finished before either choice broke the future. And beyond them all, the Empire was closing its fist around the rebellion. So Ahsoka made the boldest choice. She stopped hiding the twins from each other and started forging them together. Luke and Leia trained side by side in a rebel outpost, and the difference between them was clear. Luke reached inward, Leia reached outward. Luke trusted feeling, Leia trusted decision. Alone, each was powerful. Together, they sharpened one another in ways Ahsoka had never expected. Luke gave Leia patience. Leia gave Luke steel. Meanwhile, Bail gathered every contact he trusted, turning Padmé's old network into resistance. Cells that had once whispered began to coordinate. Supplies moved faster. Messages traveled farther. The spark of rebellion was becoming a flame. Vader responded exactly as Ahsoka knew he would. He struck hard and personally, crushing outposts until one finally led him to the twins. The battle that followed tore through the station in fire and smoke. Rebels fell. Blast doors failed. Obi-Wan faced Vader again to buy the twins time, while Ahsoka drove Luke and Leia toward the heart of the fight instead of away from it. That was the true change in this history. The children of Anakin Skywalker did not meet their fate alone. When Luke confronted Vader, he did not stand as a frightened son searching for answers. Leia stood at his side, blaster in hand and fury in her eyes. Ahsoka stood behind them, carrying the memory of the master they had all lost. For one suspended moment, Vader saw all three and faltered. Not because he was weak, but because, for the first time in years, Anakin Skywalker was surrounded by the family and faith he had believed were gone. Then Luke stepped forward, ignited his blade, and offered his father one final choice.